Rocky is now the heavyweight champion of the world, and he's going to defend his title. In a fantastic opening sequence, while Eye of the Tiger is playing, we see Rocky be established as a dominant force in boxing. In the meantime, we see an up-and-comer, Clubber Lang, become motivated and trained to beat Rocky. We see Clubber Lang establish himself as a dominant force in boxing as well. And now the stage is set for the ultimate battle between the two dominant forces in boxing. But first, Rocky's got to do a charity thing where he fights a wrestler named Thunderlips, played by Hulk Hogan. And that is a silly fight, but it's a lot of fun. So I can't really hold anything against it because I did enjoy the fight itself. It has also become very clear that this is not really the same Rocky. He's a little softer, he's not quite as tough. He's a little more arrogant, he thinks a little bit too much about himself. He doesn't think about other people as much as he used to. Which is, of course, what happens when you become rich and famous. And Mick is telling Rocky that he's losing his edge. He's telling him that, some of those fights might have been a little set up. He was protecting him. And Rocky finally meets Clubber Lang and finds out, wow, this guy is a douchebag. Because Clubber Lang is this rude, arrogant, very, very mean person. And Rocky really wants to fight him. But his confidence is shaken. He's just not as hungry as he used to be. And above all, Mick has a heart attack right before the fight. And with all these issues, Rocky loses that fight in 2 rounds. He goes into the locker room and finds out that Mick is dead. And on top of all that, this horrible, arrogant idiot, Clubber Lang, is now the champion of the world. So now Rocky has to get back that hunger, that Eye of the Tiger, and Apollo Creed, the former champion, is going to help him do it. Now this is a more Hollywoodized Rocky movie. A certain amount of it takes place in Los Angeles. It's sort of like this bigger thing. It has a few silly moments. Like during the montage, they keep zooming in on the guy's thighs. It's a little weird. But Sylvester Stallone is still perfect as Rocky. Talia Shire is still great as Adrian. She gives this fantastic speech to Rocky in the middle of his training. Apollo Creed is an awesome trainer. He really does a great job in this movie, as of course he does. There's a scene where he's with these sports announcers ringside, and, he's talking, and someone asks him something about losing the title. And he just goes, well, why do you think I'm down here with you? And he says it with, this little hint of contempt, and it's so awesome. Because Apollo Creed still has his own motivations for training Rocky, but at the same time, he still legitimately wants him to succeed. And Paulie is there. Mr. T in this movie as Clubber Lang is so awesome. He talks fast, he talks violently, and he's so joyously over the top. And when he's not talking, his face of anger and focus is just so much fun. He's such a fun villain. One thing I'll say is that this probably has the most satisfying training montage. Because we see before that he's struggling to do every single exercise that Apollo Creed puts before him. And so seeing him overcome all of those obstacles is really an exciting thing, and it really just gets you super hyped. So this is still an emotionally satisfying movie that shows our character go through a fall and then a return. It has a few silly moments, but it shows a character that we love going through a journey, and it really is an enjoyable film. I'm gonna give Rocky 3 an A.
What's your prediction for the fight then?
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain.